Hey everyone, well now, a bit of a milestone here on my channel. We've hit 20,000 subscribers. Not bad, yeah? And it only took 4 years. Not exactly playing with the big boys of YouTube just yet as far as guitar content is concerned, but we're getting there gradually. And that is the goal. Get myself up over 100,000 subscribers within the next 2 to 3 years. It's certainly and suddenly within reach, I believe, because as my content grows, my production quality gets better and my video counts go up. My growth as a channel is starting to see somewhat of an exponential increase as of late. The YouTube algorithm has certainly helped somewhat in that regard, but only recently, as it has pretty much completely ignored me over the first 3 years or so of this channel. Thankfully, about 5 or 6 months ago, it finally decided that I exist. My first 16,000 subscribers or so was almost 100% organic growth, with little to no help from YouTube suggestions and recommendations, aka the algorithm. If you didn't seek out my particular content, you simply weren't gonna find me. I was pretty much in this game alone, and I seriously sucked and still do at self-promoting myself. That said, this channel started as strictly a Reddit guitar project, wherein I was attempting to sequentially play my way through Guitar World magazine's top 100 guitar solos of all time, and then post each solo when learned and performed to the Reddit Guitar Forum. Therefore, a heck of a lot of my early subscribers, probably the first 12,000 or so, came from Reddit, but that's about it as far as growth through any kind of self-promotion. You wouldn't find me on other guitar forums, no pushing myself on other guitar-related YouTube channels, no Facebook, no TikTok and the like, so on and so forth. So other than Reddit, early on, I was pretty much a void on all other types of social media. I did try Instagram for a bit, about 2 years ago, but saw very limited views and very little growth there, so I gave up on it after a few months of frustration. However, recently, like I previously stated, the YouTube algorithm has been hitting occasionally, and I've increased just in the past 5 or 6 months from an average of 200 to 300 subscribers a month to over 500 a month on a regular basis nowadays. The channel, it seems, is picking up a bit of steam. Higher view counts per day, old videos suddenly becoming more popular, newer videos getting bumps from the algorithm, so on and so forth. And at this current rate of growth, I can definitely see myself hitting that 100,000 subscriber mark in the next 2 to 3 years. You know, unless, of course, something big and unforeseen were to happen to my channel in a good way, like a big viral video, or maybe a bump or shout out from one of the big gun YouTube guitar channels. So far, neither of these things has happened, but I hold out hope. With that said, 100,000 subscribers is a bit of a magic number for me because it's a number that I see as my retirement number, not from YouTube, but from work. A number once hit wherein I think that I'll be making enough money per month from this channel to retire and do this full time. Something that I never perceived as being remotely possible until recently. A reality in my life that would have seemed basically absurd were you to ask me about it, say, 10 years ago. Hell, I wasn't even playing guitar 10 years ago. Now, since I just mentioned it, I want to talk briefly about money, because, you know, maybe you're curious. Don't know if it's bad form or taboo to talk about one's YouTube profits, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone or a secret that I make a few bucks from this channel after 4 years being active and 3 years being monetized. So how much money do I actually make from this channel? Well, the simple answer is not very much. You know, I've got, I don't know, 400 to 500 videos on my channel at this point. A huge percentage of them copyright claimed because of my flagrant use of backing tracks. Those videos don't make squat. don't really care, to tell the truth. The only real money-making videos are the tutorials that I do, and individually they don't make very much. A few bucks each per month for the most popular ones. But, you know, once you get 25, 30, 40 fairly popular tutorials, all making a couple of bucks each per month, it begins to add up. So right now, mostly driven by tutorials, I make about $200 a month from YouTube. However, that dollar number is a very recent development, and thus for the longest time, I didn't give a damn about making any money from this channel because I was making so little. It wasn't about money in the least. It was just a fun hobby that I enjoyed immensely. Now, initially, after my channel first became monetized about 3 years ago or so, I was making about $20 to $30 a month from YouTube itself, and that number stayed pretty consistent for the longest time. A pretty insignificant amount, to say the least. That $20 or $30 a month was coupled with about $80 to $100 or so from the very kind subscribers who donate a few bucks each month to my channel through Patreon, which is extremely kind and generous of you, and you all know who you are, and I just want you to know that it is greatly appreciated, so thank you for that very much. Regardless, over the past year or so, with the growth spurt of my channel, like I said, that dollar amount has suddenly grown to about $200 a month. So even as it stands right now, we're looking at about $300 to $350 a month in total, coupled with Patreon. Hardly enough to retire on, unless I want to retire to a cardboard box under a bridge somewhere. But I would absolutely love, more than anything, to do this for a living full time. And with my current growth, it's starting to look like a possibility in a few years. You know, it's still all about the love of this instrument and the hobby, but if I could do what I love and eke out a living from it in my retirement, that would be an absolute dream come true. However, we'll see how that goes going forward. But believe me, I'm working on that dream. Let's see how it all pans out. Regardless, 20,000 subscribers for now, and that is amazing. I really and truly appreciate you being there and all the kind words and support you guys and gals constantly throw my way. It means a heck of a lot to me. There's also very little negativity and trolling on my channel, and that has been a real pleasant surprise, so thanks for that as well. Well then, that is all I've got to say about hitting this milestone. I guess 50,000 will be the next big one to close in on, so we've got a bit of a ways to go just yet. If I hit that by the end of next year, we just might have a chance at that magic number of 100,000 within 3 years. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may be, and we will see you next time. Cheers.